This one, 5 3-minute rounds for the USFFC Featherweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is the challenger, Chris Teague.
This fight is going to be electric. I can just about guarantee you that. Chris Teague takes on the champion, Brandon the Kid Webb. And I know both these guys are world beaters, Casey Oxendine.
Yeah, but I'll say this, on paper you can see it right there. Brandon Webb, a huge favorite. It's because of his absolute and utter dominance in his previous bouts. And you know, just control out of nowhere. You know, I mean, he will be in a striking battle and then explode, and the fight is done just like that. Or, if it's not done, the fighters just lose their heart because his strikes are so precise, they're so hard, so well placed, and, you know, what do you do with someone like that?
You know, I think the key word there was precision, and that's something that I see from Brandon the Kid Webb, but I see from very few other fighters. He doesn't throw massive volume of punches. He picks and chooses precisely when to strike, and when he does, it usually is followed with violent consequences. Brandon the Kid Webb, like you said, has dominated his past couple opponents so handily that it's got to be tough to find fights. However, Chris Teague, a warrior in and of his own right, 6-1, not used to losing matches.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent fighting out of the red corner, your champion, Brandon the Kid Webb.
Brandon Webb is compact, he is powerful, and he is fast. Fighting with Chuck Cawthon in Hartwell, Georgia, and he told me that I had better be sure during this broadcast to mention that he promised a first-round finish over Chris Teague. We're going to see if Brandon the Kid Webb can keep the streak up.
I will say this, Brandon Webb is so fast and so precise, but you see Cody Freeland over there, okay, in the corner of Chris Teague? That guy, if you don't know, that guy came up with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He came up with Justin Scoggins. He came up with those guys, and he is fast on that level. He is fast, he hits hard, he's an incredible striker, an incredible striking coach. If Chris Teague is working with this guy, he is going to be prepared for fast.
Yep.
This is going to be a good fight.
Having Cody Freeland in your corner like that is a good problem to have. And if anyone's going to help him prepare for the striking prowess of Brandon the Kid Webb, it's him. Following behind him, C.J. Dozier Hamilton, another great fighter out of Chuck Cawthon's gang in Hartwell, Georgia. These two guys are great friends and great training partners. And at the weigh-ins yesterday, there was certainly some animosity, Casey Oxendine.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell that Brandon the Kid Webb wants nothing to do with the being friends or being respectful of his opponent.
Well, Brandon Webb is serious about his career.
Yes.
He is serious about winning. He doesn't want it to make any mistake about it. He is here to destroy anybody he steps into the cage with as quickly as possible, mind you.
Certainly one of the brightest prospects coming out of that very well-known gym, Contemporary Martial Arts. Brandon the Kid Webb has been on a tear, and he looks to keep his 145-pound championship belt here in Greenville, South Carolina at the Teague Convention
Now,
Center.
ladies and gentlemen, your co-main event of the evening, 5 3-minute rounds for the USFFC Featherweight Championship. Introducing first, the fighter on my left, fighting out of the blue corner. He is the challenger. He weighed in at 145 pounds with a record of 6 wins, only 1 defeat. Fighting for Absolute MMA, Greenville, South Carolina, Chris Teague. And now his opponent standing across the cage and fighting out of the red corner. Also weighing in at 145 pounds with a record of 8 wins and only 1 defeat. Fighting out of Contemporary Martial Arts, Hartwell, Georgia, Brandon the Kid Webb.
One half the building supports the challenger, the other half
The
supports
referee
the
when the action
champion.
begins, Blake Grice.
Brandon the Kid Webb, I think he's 19 or 20 years old, still very young in his career, and so far has done a lot of great things for being in these early stages. No glove touch.
And this is the thing. Brandon Webb, he'll move around. He'll tiptoe. He'll play around. And then out of nowhere, he'll cause trauma. Serious trauma.
That's power, too, from Brandon Webb. He's definitely got snap on the end of that punch.
That's
and the
thing,
kick.
You cannot wait.
Good trip takedown from Chris Teague.
Wow, Chris Teague.
Right back to his feet.
Beautiful work here.
Got him again.
Wow, another trip. Beautiful work by Chris Teague. And this is exactly how you have to work Brandon Webb. You cannot let him get off.
That's a great point. Allowing Brandon Webb to get comfortable on his feet is a problem you don't want.
And the question is, this is exactly what Teague's going to have to do. Can he keep it up? He's got the wrestling prowess. You've already seen it. 2 treetop lifts right there. Beautiful work.
And simply showing your opponent that you can take him down.
Well, and simply looking and making, when he brings that leg up, if he allows Chris Teague to catch it or scoop it, he's going to possibly go on his back. It's somewhat demoralizing, especially even in Muay Thai you see it. Oh, big shots. Those are nasty.
But now, Brandon Webb has to keep that in mind, that he can be taken down.
Sure.
And that's got to be in the back of his head.
But again, once again, he popped up as quick as he hit the mat.
That's true. Right back up. Good athlete. Exchanging kicks there.
Teague so far able to keep his chin out of the way of those ultra-fast shots from Brandon Webb. But man, one on the money could be curtains.
That's usually what it takes. Brandon Webb hasn't thrown too many strikes so far, like we talked about. He picks and chooses. Chris Teague doing a great job.
Exactly, but look at Chris Teague. He is mentally strong. You can see it in his eyes. He is still ready to fight.
Wow, great athleticism from the champ.
Avoiding that takedown. Now that might alter the course of this fight because
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to pause this fight right now. Our doctor is needed in the back right now, so we have to pause the fight until the doctor is cage side. Those are the rules, guys. As soon as we get our cage side doctor back, we'll continue.
For Aftershock, the co-main event, we've been waiting for it. We've been waiting for months for it, but now we've been waiting for multitudes of minutes.
Yeah.
So we're excited to see the next portion of this fight,
ladies and gentlemen,
see it finish
the fighter that we were waiting on, Mahadine, I'm sorry, exactly, Draco. He is being taken to the hospital right now, just so you guys know. So we'll keep you updated and stay tuned to our social media, and we'll let you know what's going on with Draco. He's all right now. They're going to evaluate him, so he's up talking. Everything's going to be okay, hopefully. So it's time to resume your matchup. You guys ready for this fight or what? Make a little noise out there, guys.
All right, Matt, what we got here?
Brandon the Kid Webb, Chris Teague, action resumes. And these two guys have been waiting patiently to get this fight back on, and here we go.
One of the most uncanny situations.
Definitely an odd situation. Safety of the fighter paramount. Chris Teague looking for an early shot. Brandon Webb trying to make him pay. These two wasting no time getting back to action in the center of the cage.
Lots of heat going into this fight. No love lost here whatsoever. We discussed it before. Brandon Webb, he's all business when he gets in there. He doesn't like to play around. He doesn't like to be buddies. He's very serious about this sport. And Chris Teague, he's come in with a game plan.
Brandon Webb wants to land a hard right punch or a big right kick. He snaps those jabs out with fury, but the finisher is that right. I've seen him knock dudes out with it. Chris Teague landing some good strikes of his own.
And I will say this, I was talking to Cody Freeland a little bit ago, and he was mentioning that, it's not only is it Cody's like, I'm not fast anymore, and he is fast, I know it, but he's also training with the Scoggins boys. Chris Teague's training with those guys, so, it really helps going into this fight that he is familiar with that speed factor and that technique factor. Now, I will say this, Brandon Webb is tremendously strong as well. We all know that, okay? But you don't really witness it. He's so in and so out so fast that all you see is the explosiveness.
Well, so far, Chris Teague hanging with him, no problem. This is somewhat of an even matchup, I'd say, so far, even with the delay. And now as we get into the further rounds, one of these fighters will have a chance to distinguish themselves, separate himself from the other one, because the championship belt is on the line, and neither of these guys want to leave this cage without it.
Undoubtedly, it's crazy that the fighting started, and as soon as it started, it was done. A very close first round. It could be possible that Chris Teague may have taken it just on the 2 takedowns, because there was very little else that occurred in the round.
Did have 2 trip takedowns.
But, again, anything can happen in a blink of an eye. So, even if you start to load up on rounds, either competitor, anything can happen. Look at that big shot!
Brandon Webb goes down back to his feet in an instant and has Chris Teague up against the cage.
And you wonder how much of that is impact. I couldn't really tell from my vantage point, and how much of it was getting tripped up. But either way, it's playing a role in this fight.
Knee and a punch from Webb. Chris Teague pressing the action, lunging left hook from Chris Teague. Walking
look at
Brandon
the eyes
down.
of Chris Teague. Brandon Webb, he's still in this fight, but he doesn't necessarily appear as aggressive, but he could be playing here. We've seen it before. We've seen him, calm, relaxed, and then out of nowhere, man, just like a rattlesnake.
Yeah, he can strike. Both these guys have that potential. Both these guys very much in this fight. Both proven they can strike effectively. Now Brandon Webb dancing around.
Left hook. A hard shot there.
On the money from Brandon Webb. Chris Teague might still be wobbled a little bit.
That's another hard shot. He's still in it, but for how long?
A left hook finds its mark. Trying to change levels. He's got him down
again.
And
there's the takedown for the 3rd time. But I'll tell you this, Teague's got to watch out. The submission game of Brandon Webb is there. He cannot put himself into a triangle choke.
He's out.
He's got to stay with the double underhook if he's going to do this. Wow.
This is
a fight.
Right where Chris Teague wants it to be, in
into
mount
the mount position. Chris Teague in mount here.
Dropping punches on the champion.
These are big shots here.
Brandon Webb gets out of trouble, or does he?
He's going for the choke. Go for the choke. Rear mount.
He may have it. You can't tell me.
That's it.
He's got it.
Chris Teague has shook up the world.
Chris Teague defeats Brandon the Kid Webb.
New champion.
Upset victory for Chris Teague. Takes the championship belt from
It's blown my mind. I can't believe it.
Unbelievable performance from Chris Teague, coming in and neutralizing the striking advantage of Brandon Webb with a takedown, climbing onto his back from the standing position and sinking in the choke. That is a very happy Chris Teague and the new 145-pound champion for USFFC. A lot of great sportsmanship being shown here. You can see the finish. Brandon Webb unable to get past the rear naked choke. Chris Teague climbs to the top of the cage. He is very, very happy to take